right, welcome back everyone. It's been a long while since our last video, but to kick everything off, wanted to go over what's changed, what kind of things on the car has changed since the last video. Want to show you what we've achieved. From looking at the title of the video, obviously you can kind of guess what happened. It's been a long time personal goal of mine to be sub 1 minute 20 seconds at this track at the Toronto Motorsports Park. It's not crazy fast, but it's a sign that I'm progressing as a driver. The setup of the car is being dialed in, and just the overall approach to driving has been improving here at Formula Delta. We kept the car mostly the same with some slight modifications that we'll go over. You can kind of take a look for context at the Speed Academy channel, where Speed Academy Dave Pratt is able to drive various different types of cars at the Toronto Motorsports Park and see what kind of times they're laying down. So this is a respectable time. It's not crazy fast, but it's respectable. Of course, it should also be addressed that the car that I'm driving here is not crazily modded. It's actually a pretty modest build. It is also in line with what the Formula Delta philosophy of building performance is, which is approaching it from a holistic approach, which means all aspects of performance is being evaluated and optimized, not just building a crazy fast car. At least for my personal goal, if I build a fast car but is not able to extract the time from it, that's actually a pretty poor reflection of my driving skills. All right, so let's start talking about the build. Overall, the car is a 2000 Honda Civic hatchback with a JDM K20A Type R engine and transmission. It has the usual bolt-ons of intake, header, exhaust with RDX injectors and the Honda K Pro. That's roughly for the powertrain. In terms of the suspension, I'm actually running Koni yellow sports shocks, not the race version, just the regular one, mainly for the lifetime warranty. I'm running ground control spring purchase with Eibach springs, Eibach ERS springs. They're custom rated for this car. Went to order those parts from Stage 4 Motorsports. They have a full catalog of Eibach products. The front sway bar is out of a DC2 or a EG, which is the 24 millimeter in the front, and I made a custom rear sway bar that's pretty much equivalent to a roughly 22 to 24 mil solid sway bar, or one of those 25 mil hollow sway bars. The rates are about the same. You can get similar performance out of that. And in terms of the rest of the suspension, there's hard race products throughout. Camber arms, toe arms, as well as bushings have been changed out to hard race products throughout the car. Otherwise, you got a Skunk 2 upper control arm just to get the front camber. All right, moving on to the brakes. The brakes is a highlight of this vehicle. We've gone to a Genesis Brembo front caliper with G-Lock R12 pads up front and a DC2 Type R rear caliper with a G-Lock R8 pad at the back. And just to finish everything off, there's a Wilwood bias adjuster in the car so that you can dial in the brake balance for whatever reason, whether you're changing tire compound, changing spring rates, or changing fuel loads if you're very particular about that. From the wheels and tire side, there is 17x9 fronts. Right now I'm running 724 GTF ones. That's in a plus 25 offset. I'm hoping to find something a little bit lighter in the future, but we're talking maybe half a pound per wheel. I'm running 255/40/17 tires in the front, and for the rear we're running 15x8 plus 40 Rota slipstreams. These were really cheap 5x114 wheels. That's in the 15x8. Didn't want to drop too much money on the wheels. They're also kind of heavy. But in the back, I'm running 225/45/15 tires. Might go to a slightly different size, maybe a 225/50/15 in the future, but we'll see what happens there. In terms of ergonomics, there's a Sparco Evo 2 driver seat. There's a NRG steering wheel, quick disconnect steering wheel adapter with a aftermarket steering wheel. And behind the front seats of the car, I deleted the interior. That saves maybe 20-30 pounds. So overall, this vehicle is 2000 Honda Civic hatchback, 230 wheel horsepower, about 160 pound-feet of torque. And overall, once I'm sitting in the vehicle with a full tank of gas, it weighs about 2,600 pounds. So there's not much weight reduction on this car. If however weight reduction I've done, like deleting the rear interior and deleting some of the various components, have all been added back in via bigger brakes, bigger wheels, bigger tires, those sort of things. All right, so the biggest change we've done since the last video release is to going to a different tire. We've gone from a 2017 dated RS4 tire that's been totally beat up. I've been driving on them to and from the track, as well as at the track for the past like 2 or 3 years, and aggressively. And they've been sitting around in the wintertime and sitting for all of 2020 without doing anything. And as you can kind of see in the pictures, the wheels are kind of breaking up a little bit. When I pushed them too hard, they actually started chunking in the corners, as you can kind of see in the picture. So we swapped over to Nankang CR1s, and I think it's a combination of the tire's age and the wear, as well as the fact that the RS4s are a endurance tire, whereas a Nankang CR1 is really good for laying down those fast lap times, but they do wear very fast. I have to say that the grip level on the Nankang CR1 is substantially higher than that of the RS4. The other part that I would like to comment about the CR1 is once you get it past its peak, so as you're loading up the tire, you can feel the grip load build up as well. Once you feel the drop off, the CR1s have a flatter drop off. What that means is as you get the wheels sliding, you can still maintain control of the vehicle at some kind of angle, whereas the RS4s, once you get it past that peak, it falls off really quickly and does not deal with sliding energy very well, whereas the Nankang CR1s do. And that definitely contributed to some of the corner entry confidence that I had with this vehicle, and you'll see in the video as well as in the data where that's translating into lap times. Alright, let's quickly look at the data. There's 2 blue lines of my laps in 122s, and the red line, which is with the Nankang CR1s and the Genesis Brembo brakes, where I actually started practicing with the new brakes as well as the new tires and found quite a bit of time in the car. The red line is the 119.9 that I did. Just quickly looking at the lap, you can kind of see I took a very different approach to turn one. I started braking quite a bit later than any of my other runs. And I found that by doing so, you're saving time on the entry, but not really sacrificing anything on the exit. I actually moved the apex point out from the actual curbing 5-6 feet, and you can kind of rewind and take a look at the video for turn one. So when you look at turn two, I'm braking at the same spot, but I am letting off the brakes way earlier than before and carrying a lot more speed with these tires. These tires, because of the behavior past the sliding, past the peak, you're able to get the car to hold an angle and have it slide, have the rear slide just a little bit more and still hold it stable. So I found that I was able to extract this and take turn two quite a bit faster than before. You know, this is also partially driving technique improvement because I wasn't able to get over my fear of carrying so much speed through turn two. But with these tires, it gave me the confidence, and I was able to get the front to squeal and hold the rears while going into turn two. The same story is in turn three. The main improvement here is that actually turn five exit is gaining quite a bit of speed. I was able to get the car in a bit of a slide, but still able to hold the throttle down. This translated to quite a bit of speed for the entire straight after turn five and all the way up to turn six. And same story, turn six is probably one of the tighter corners. This is the second tightest corner on the track. The min cornering speed is way higher than every other run that I had without actually sacrificing anything on the exit. So once I'm on the exit, but the rear is sliding just a little bit, but it's not losing any speed on the straight. So I think that's okay. I think with a little bit more driving improvement, I should be able to exit turn six just a little bit faster and carry that speed all the way through to turn seven braking zone. Turn 8 is a similar story. Turn 9 is kind of not, I wasn't able to improve upon turn 9. I think with a little bit more practice, there will be a little bit more time that I can gain out of it. And same thing with turn 10. It's more of a confidence thing. You come in full throttle and I lift just a little bit less than I would normally. And that concludes our video for today. I am hoping to improve upon this time. I have a couple more mods planned for the vehicle. No power mods. I'm looking to get into the 118s this year. If you think this video is helpful, please like and subscribe.